Hello and welcome to Virtual Sunday School. So, Nat's got her hands full with Arietti. That's our new baby. She's a big baby, apparently. So, this week,
me and Rob are taking over.
Rob and Jordan are taking over. Rob and Jordan.
So how are you doing? Oh, the weather's been a lot better this week, hasn't it? You know, spring seems like it's sprung. You know, we've been enjoying the sun. It's been really fun. And I ate a chocolate bun.
Doesn't need to rhyme.
Doesn't need to rhyme. But I felt like it should. And I'm wearing a hood. And I've eaten loads of food. Yeah. Subscribe. Anyway, today is Palm Sunday. Waboosh! Rob has come up with his very own Palm Sunday story. And he's gone out to try and find some friends to be able to show this to you guys.
New friends?
Yeah, because you don't have many.
Oh, I'm going on a very special trip for a very special Palm Sunday story time.
And you aren't going to miss Nat completely because she will be back later on to do a craft with us, and then I'm going to do a prayer.
And then we'll finish with a final thought.
So, grab your drink.
And a biscuit. And let's do this.
When you're stuck at home with time to spare, can't go outside, you're not going anywhere. Why don't you pull up a chair or pull up a stool, tune into Virtual Sunday School. With a craft to do and a story or two. Say hello to Nat, she's stuck at home too. Why not tune in to Virtual Sunday School?
The story of Palm Sunday can be found in Matthew 21, verses 1 to 9. When Jesus made his triumphal entry into the city of Jerusalem. This week, Rob has got his own twist on the Bible story. So, let's head over to Rob.
So, today is Palm Sunday, and I'm here today with a couple of donkeys. Here you go, there's one for you, and here's one for you. And the reason I'm here is because I'm going to tell a story about two donkeys. So, this is Blossom and Dolly, and I want you to imagine, if you will, two donkeys. That shouldn't be too hard, because here's two donkeys. That's my coat. Get off. What are you doing? No, that's my butt. You can't eat that. So in today's story, there is a young donkey called Davy. All right, Blossom, you're going to play him Davy today. All right. So there's Davy and his mother, Delilah. Here you go. Now Davy and his mother were tied up in their usual spot when one day two men came down the road riding beautiful horses. One of the horses was an intimidating stallion, as black as the night, and the other was an athletic, sleek horse with an exotic dappled coat. Now, as Davy was standing there in awe of these horses, they came closer and stopped right in front of Davy and his mother. "I think he'll be sleek," said the athletic horse. The larger horse responded, "Nah, mate, he's going to be showing up on a big, intimidating horse like me. He's going to ride something like you, he might as well show up on a donkey." Excuse me, I can't hear you," said Davy. "Sorry, mate, we were just having a bit of a discussion. Here, let's get the little one's opinion." The athletic horse let out a sigh. "Our owners are very important people, and they are here to see someone even more important than them, Jesus." The large black horse started up again. "Oh, you see, this Jesus, he's quite a celebrity, and he likes doing things differently. And for our owners, it's all about doing things differently, different from everyone else. Different, unique designer clothes, exquisite foods from far-off lands. Hey, and we're no ordinary horses. You see, I am a war horse with a proud bloodline that traces all the way back to the mighty Bucephalus, the war horse of Alexander the Great." "And I am a thoroughbred racehorse," said the smaller horse. "Which brings us to our debate. If Jesus is so important, then what sort of horse will he be riding?" "Well, I reckon a sleek and dashing steed." "Whereas I reckon he's going to be a big bruiser of a war horse. And white. I reckon white as well." "Oh no, not white," said the smaller horse. "That's the worst colour for a horse. It really shows up the dirt." "Well, go on then. What do you reckon, little one?" Well, said Davy, I don't really know anything about horses or important people, and I'm not even old enough to give anyone a ride yet. I usually just follow behind my mum and carry the bags. I'm almost old enough though, said Davy. I'll just be happy to give any old person a ride. And this is why you don't ask donkeys. No offence, it's a horse thing, said the athletic horse. Just then, the war horse received a kick to the side. Oh, hey, looks like we're off. I bet that Jesus fella's here already, and I bet he will be riding on a big white war horse. Sleek! Sleek! Cried the dappled horse as they both raced off into the city. Davy's mother, Delilah, came over, who had been listening the whole time. You pay them no mind, she said. You're almost old enough to give someone a ride yourself, and whoever it is, I'm sure that they'll be very grateful. And at that moment, Davy's owner came over and started to untie both of the donkeys. Oh, anyway, said Davy's mother, it looks like we've got work to do. Davy and his mother were led into the city, and before long, they were stood before a shabby-looking man with a warm smile. And the man walked over to Davy's mother and placed a coat on her back, and then walked over to Davy, round the side, and climbed on Davy's back. This was it. Davy's mother welled up with pride as Davy gave his first ride. And so they set off towards the crowds, and Davy grinned a big grin. Because not only was he giving someone his first ride, but he also got to take someone to see this important man, Jesus. Davy walked through the crowd, keeping his eyes peeled for an important man on the back of a very important looking horse. But he couldn't see anyone. And eventually they started to leave the crowd. And as they were heading out of the crowd, Davy spotted the two horses from before. So who was right? Shouted Davy. What sort of horse did Jesus show up on? The two horses just stared at Davy in disbelief. Well, what sort of horse? Did you see Jesus? Where is Jesus? The large horse started laughing hilariously, and the athletic horse gave an incredulous look and then said, He's on your back. You see, it turned out that the two horses were right. Jesus did do things differently. When he came into Jerusalem, he entered as the King of Kings, God's own son, the Messiah. Yet he didn't come on a magnificent war horse or an exotic patterned racing steed. He chose to ride on a young donkey, a humble animal of peace, a humble creature for a humble king. And so, a final thought. Jesus' entry into Jerusalem on a lowly donkey started off a very important week in his life, which would ultimately end in his death and resurrection. But we'll look at that next week. And with such an important event, and with such an important arrival, you'd probably expect to have quite an important steed to ride upon. Yet, in the Palm Sunday story, we see that Jesus does things a little differently. And even today, Jesus uses the ordinary, the lowly, and the humble to do amazing things.
Craft time!
Today we're going to make a donkey mask, so you will need some cards, scissors, tape and coloured pens or pencils. First, make sure you have card big enough to cover your face. Then draw an outline of your donkey head and make sure you add ears and a tuft of hair in the middle. Next, draw some eyes. After that, grab your other piece of card and draw a circle that will be the muzzle. Then, colour in your mask. Next, cut out the muzzle and the mask. Tape the muzzle to the bottom of the mask to complete the face. I stuck a piece of tape back round on itself to create double-sided tape. And here's where I forgot to finish colouring in my muzzle. Next, we're going to cut out the eyes. I put a slight fold to make them easier to cut, but you could ask a grown-up to help you because it is quite fiddly. Finally, cut out a strip of card and make sure it fits round your head. You might need to stick 2 strips together if you have a big head like me. Fold over each end of the strip and tape it to the back of the mask on each side. And there we have it! Now you can wear your donkey mask!
For today's prayer, we're going to make a prayer acrostic. An acrostic is where you take a word and then for each letter you have a different word or a sentence. Like that. We're going to use the word donkey. So our prayer will start with the letter D. And that one's quite easy. Dear God. And then next is O, and then N, and then you get to Y. So you guys have a think, and why not try and think of your very own acrostic prayer at home? Here's a little tip, so it's much easier if you write it down to begin with. And here's mine. If nothing else, you can join in with mine and say Amen at the end. Dear God, on this Palm Sunday, we thank you for everything you have done for us. No matter what we've done, we thank you that you forgive us when we come back to you. Keep everybody safe during this time. Everybody is included in this prayer. You are truly amazing. Amen.
Last week, we made some Don't Hide Your Light crafts. Let's see how you guys got on.
So, of course, Jesus tells us not to hide our light away. So for our craft, we made a light and something to hide it under. But so that you could not hide it away. That's the point. Let's see the crafts. And there's a 3D one here. We've got nice matching outfits, boys. You got your teddy bears. Nice. Loving the background. Good effort on that one. Yep. Loving the smile, young lady. Oh, these crafts are awesome. Thank you so much for sending them in. Oh, and of course, also it was our birthday as well. So thank you so much for all the happy birthday messages we received. We appreciate them. Oh, it's Pikachu. Check him out. Samson Arietti, you're not supposed to be here. Go away. We're looking at amazing, wonderful crafts. Look, it's my hat, which is hiding a happy birthday cake. And here's an actual birthday cake someone made. You guys are awesome. Oh, I wish I was there to eat it.
This week, we want to see your donkey masks. Ask your grown-up to take a photo and head over to the Virtual Sunday School Facebook or Instagram page. So get in touch.
Oh, and just quickly, before you go, hit that like button and subscribe as well. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week. I've had loads of fun. I hope you've enjoyed it. You enjoyed it as well, haven't you?
Why not tune in to Virtual Sunday School?